I'm going to give you a bit of a life update while I do some repairs on the cruiser. Hey guys, in this episode I'm going to give you a bit of a life update while I do some repairs on the cruiser. I have a few things that need to be done that I've been putting off for ages. So first I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing. So I got a flat tire a couple of weeks ago, so I've just been driving around with it on the back, but I've finally got around to repairing it. So that needs to be put back on. I've been driving around with my spare on, and the rim was actually white, but I painted it with black spray paint so that it wasn't looking different to the rest. Had a leaking radiator for a while, and yeah, the leak's getting pretty bad, so it's time to change that. I've got a new one over there that I'm going to be putting on. You can probably see, yeah, definitely needs to be changed out. Now I need a new aircon belt. I went and bought one today, so that needs to be put on because Emma and I are going on a trip tomorrow down south. We're going island camping. That definitely needs to be fixed, otherwise we'll just be sweating the whole way. Now I've also got a speed sensor that needs to be put on, and I hope I'm not incriminating myself by saying this, but the speedo hasn't worked for I'm not even going to say. I'm going to whack that on as well. It's really easy to change. So that will be somewhere in one of my toolboxes, somewhere. So yeah, I'm just going to ramble on about all the fun things I have been up to lately, fill you guys in so you're completely up to date with what's going on, what has been going on, and a few other little things like what do I do for work and that sort of stuff. So I'm going to start with the tire. Now, if you own a Land Cruiser, you know, you just know. So let's start with the main reason I have been so bloody busy. Some people might remember me and Molly announcing we had a super big, exciting thing to tell everyone. That was because we actually got invited to be a part of a really big fishing and outdoor filming competition for BCF. Now I'm going to put a link in the description of this video if you want to find out more information about what it is. But yeah, we were a team. There's 10 teams that get chosen around Australia, so we're lucky enough to be one of them. Basically, it's an amazing opportunity for content creators to kind of make a 20-minute film of all things to do fishing and outdoors and camping and all stuff like that. All the teams get the same amount of time, and basically it's a big competition. So your films go live to the public, and then the winner is chosen off a voting system. The public decides on what film they think is deserving of the win, and the winner takes away a massive prize of 70,000 Australian dollars. Now, of course, there's prizes for second, third. Everyone actually wins something, so no matter what, you don't go home empty-handed. But long story short, Molly unfortunately had to pull out of our team. So I have been filming the whole thing solo. And man, let me tell you, you think you have heaps of time, but the time goes so quickly. Now, I kind of shot myself in the foot a little too, because I was patiently waiting and waiting and waiting in Cairns for the weather to come nice. During the filming period, the whole east coast of Australia has trade winds, so it's not very easy to go out on a jet ski fishing. I waited right up until the last 2 weeks and the weather still wasn't good in Cairns, so I decided to go on a mission. I had to just travel wherever I needed to chase the nice weather so I could try and catch something. So I travelled from Cairns down to Yeppoon, back up to Cairns, to Ellie Beach, back up to the Cape, back to Cairns, all within, you know, about a week and a half. So I did a lot of kilometres in the cruiser in a very short amount of time. So yeah, my main focus for a little while recently has definitely been this fishing and outdoor film competition. So YouTube really didn't get much attention, didn't post for a few weeks, but we're back, baby. So I asked my videographer mate to come on these trips with me and film for me. Now, he's not a fisher, but he's a really good videographer. I dragged him down to Yeppoon with me, and he just filmed me. So yeah, we jumped in the cruiser, we drove down. Now, Killian filmed me from the back of my jet ski, and he also jumped in a mate's boat and did some filming from that as well.
We fished for about 2 days. Now I did drop a couple of really decent fish, one right next to the jet ski, which was absolutely devastating. Did manage to get a few fish anyway, but definitely not what I was targeting. I was really chasing a big GT. But yeah, I couldn't be fussy because there was really nowhere else along the east coast of Australia that was decent fishing weather, so I just had to make do with what I had. So yeah, still got a few fish in Yeppoon, no monsters, but saw some absolute unreal scenery, including this absolutely insane cave.
Honestly, I've never seen anything like that cave in my life. I'll actually have to find out the name of the area that it was in because I don't know right now, but I'm gonna add a little text box here.
As soon as we got home from Yeppoon, I asked him to
come up to the Cape with me. Lakefield had just opened, so I got him to agree to jump in the car and come up to the Cape with me. Poor old Killian was kind of scarred from the Yeppoon trip. He finds nothing more boring than fishing.
So yeah, we jumped in the cruiser again and up we went to the Cape.
Now we only had 1 day to film up there because Killian had to be back for some other shoots that he had booked in. So yeah, I was running out of time to film this film. Knew I wanted to chuck Barra in the film and it was very stressful knowing I only had 1 day. So luckily I caught some. Definitely not the size I would have loved to have caught, but that's all right. I still got some, so definitely can't complain with that. Now I was up at the Cape for a day and then I drove back down to Cairns, slept for 1 night and the next day. So I was tired, but there was a good weather window down there for 2 days. So I packed my ute and I went down there solo. Killian, my videographer and good mate, he wasn't able to come down to Airlie Beach for that short weather window, so I went down there alone, solo. I filmed everything off the jet ski, and I'd never fished down there, so I didn't really know where I was going. I took my jet ski 80 kilometers offshore. I drove out into the middle of the ocean, 80 kilometers. I couldn't even see land anymore. I had no phone service. I was on my own. I have never been this far offshore. I cannot see land anymore. I literally cannot see this tiniest bit of land. It's daunting now that I look back on it, but I was desperate to smack some really big epic fish for this film, which just didn't happen. You know, you can't win all the time. I did catch some things, but not a huge monster like, again, I would have liked. So yeah, like I said, I had 2 days in Airlie. 1 day I decided to go 80 kilometers offshore, and the second day I decided to stay around close inshore and just fish around.
So yeah, like I said, I'd never been down there fishing before, and the weather actually ended up blowing right up at lunchtime on the second day. So I didn't end up getting any fish on the second day in Airlie Beach.
Yeah, I still had an absolute ton of fun. Now, the whole idea of my film was to do absolutely everything off the jet ski. But like I said, I was running out of time and I got invited to go out jigging on a boat. Jigging isn't something I have done much of at all, so I thought I'll head out, I'll give it a go and see if I can catch some really decent fish. This was also going to be the very last opportunity to get some fish before the submissions closed for the film. So I thought, yep, haven't been having a whole heap of luck on the jet ski, so why not? Another little coral trout. He isn't as nice a color. Right, so that is my first cobia. I've never caught one of these before. I'm absolutely stoked. Pretty cool looking fish. What a sick fish. That little rod was fighting for its life.
And then towards the end of the day, I finally hooked up to the type of fish that I really wanted to chuck in my film. A quality fish, a PB, an absolute monster.
What a fish! This is by far the biggest Spanish mac I've ever caught. That had a really decent run on it. I'm pretty exhausted from reeling it in and it's super heavy. So yeah, that made the whole film, you know, like I caught an absolutely amazing fish, smashed a PB out of the absolute water. So super glad I went out on the boat, and I also discovered a new obsession that I know is going to be a thing, which is jigging. Gonna have to buy a boat. If I won this competition, buy a boat straight away. It would just be being spent on things that are gonna make my content a whole lot better for anyone that enjoys it. Overnight camping on islands, fishing out of the boat, taking the girls out, just sick shit. So right at this very current point in time, everyone's films have been submitted. You may have already seen it because they'll be out right at this minute. So yeah, make sure you check the links in the description of this video. And if you want to vote for me, please go ahead. Make sure you watch everyone's film. Yeah, it's a bloody stiff competition because everyone made an absolutely amazing film. So yeah, that's why I have been so bloody busy. YouTube got neglected for a little while. You're kidding. Typical Jazz thing to do. I am gonna rip this off and chuck this back on. Now, I said in my last video that I would fill everyone in on what I do for work.
Now, a lot of people know I was a diesel fitter in the mines for 8 years. So I did my apprenticeship and then I stayed there for another few years, but I don't do that anymore.
So I'm actually a contractor for a company called LMCT Plus. Now, if you don't know what that is, I will also put a link in the video description to the website so you can get a bit of a better idea.
Now, this picture pretty much sums it up. It is a giveaway company in Australia. We give away cars, houses, boats, cash, and I take care of the 4-wheel drives.
It's super cool, and I'm so happy to be doing the 4-wheel drive side of things. I love 4-wheel drives and definitely think they're the best giveaways. So yeah, when I work, I fly down to Melbourne and I'll stay there for a certain period of time. Now, I'm gonna show you some clips that I took on my last trip down to Melbourne, which was last month. Now, I had every intention of making a YouTube video, a day in the life of what I do when I fly down to Melbourne, what I do for work, and run you guys through it. But halfway through my little trip there, my GoPro broke, and yeah, so I didn't end up finishing it, but I'm still gonna show you some of the clips I took.
Good morning, guys. So it is day 1 in Melbourne. I have checked into my hotel. Now, it would be impossible for me to tell you the plan for the week because it really changes every day. So all I can do is take you with me each day along on what I typically do when I'm here for work. Arrived at the factory. This is where we store all of the cars that we are going to be giving away. Do have about 2 or 3 4Bs to film with today, so it's going to be a busy one. So not only is the factory the place where all the cars get stored, there's also all the offices upstairs. You've got Adrian's office on the right there, and then you've got everyone else's offices as well. As you can see, it's pretty fancy. And up here, you get a really good view of the showroom downstairs. Now, the showroom is where we park cars. You've got the show lights that shine down on them, and yeah, it's just a little area for the cars to get filmed with or given away on a live Facebook draw. I'm gonna start the day off by giving the 4Bs a bit of a wash, the ones I'm gonna be filming with. Now, what I mean by filming with, I'll actually film ads with these vehicles. These ads then get put out to the public. You may have seen similar ones on your Facebook pages before. Honestly, look how bloody shiny it is. Yeah, after it's washed, we'll just take photos of the car on its own, which is what's being done now. And then when Anton's finished, I'll jump in and I'll film my ads. So generally what happens when I'm filming with a 4-wheel drive is I'll film some ads here at the warehouse, then we might take it to a different location and do some more filming there. So yeah, Adrian really looks after everyone. It's such a fun place to work, and to be honest, you never know what's gonna happen next.
Someone else, he literally just tried to run me over. If I'm gonna get taken out by a car, I kind of don't mind if it's a Rolls Royce. There is absolutely never a dull moment.
Someone is going to win this Lamborghini. Hello.
And not there, I'm doing my own stuff. So I'm doing YouTube, content creating, planning things, going on trips. I do have a lot of free time on my hands a lot of the time. It gives me so much freedom. So yeah, I'm just really grateful and thankful to be there. Now, it was absolutely freezing down there. Imagine going from beautiful 30-degree weather every single day to like minus, oh, I don't know what it was, but I froze. So I'm actually gonna be doing something really cool with LMCT Plus, and that's building some of the fall drives and giving them away. So at the moment, there is a brand new 79 series facelift model. I do have some pretty cool ideas for this fall drive. So just in the process right now, right at this minute, of getting some brands on board, organizing, you know, things like trays, canopies, bull bar. This is gonna go everywhere. There is no drain plug on this radiator. Oh. I mean, it could have been worse. Definitely could have been worse. So yeah, that is what is going on work-wise. I'll fly down to Melbourne, do a bunch of work in one hit, come back up to Cairns, and then I have a bunch of free time to work on YouTube, bulk adventures, content creating. It's honestly so sick being down there, being around these absolutely amazing rigs, some of the best four-wheel drives in Australia, the toughest, cleanest, most amazing 4Bs you have ever seen. So you head over to the LMCT Plus Instagram page, the Facebook page where we do live draws, and maybe you'll even become a member for a minimum of $20 a month. You wouldn't even notice it come out, but not only do you get entry into every single draw that we do, you also get a discount when you shop at thousands of stores across Australia, tyre stores, beauty stores, bloody fishing stores. So your membership pretty much pays for itself. And if I was allowed to be a member, I would. But can you imagine how sus it would be if I won something? And all that information is on the website. So head on over, 1,000% worth the $20 membership. So yeah, now that my little competition has finished, and it's not really little, big competition, I can definitely put the focus back on YouTube. Yeah, back on YouTube and LMCT Plus. They're the two things that are the most important to me. That was heavy and awkward, but we got it. So yeah, that's the cruiser done. Now I couldn't find my little speed sensor, so I'm gonna have to find that eventually. Don't know where it's gone, but now I'm going to pack for a little trip that Emma and I are going on. We're gonna go island camping. We're gonna try and catch a fish. Very similar to what I did with Mole, so really excited. I've got a sled by Jet Tech that I haven't used yet, and I'm so excited to use it. But basically it clips to the back of the jet ski, but it's got a duffel bag that attaches on the top, so you can take camping gear over to an island. It's waterproof, so be able to take the tents, gas cooker, everything that I need on the island. So that's going to be so handy. So hopefully it's a good trip, and I'll show you guys what we got up to next week. Also guys, quick side note, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that has subscribed, because I have officially reached 20,000 followers in just 10 videos. Are you kidding me? I put off creating a YouTube channel for well over a year, almost 2, because I didn't think many people would be interested, but there's actually 20,000 of you who have gone out of their way to click the subscribe button. It's mind-blowing, and thank you to everyone that has done so. So yeah, that wraps up today's episode. You're all caught up with what I've been up to, and like I mentioned earlier, if you want to jump on over to the BCF Instagram page or their website, check out the film that I made, check out the film that the other teams made, and then vote according to who you want to win. I just want to make a slight mention that if I did win, the money would be going straight back into the content that I create for anyone that enjoys it. So whether that's buying a boat, new camera gear, or going on a trip somewhere cool, it would just mean better content or cool adventures all for you guys. But yeah, enough rambling. That's it for this episode, and I know you're all keen to see Emma's face again, so we'll both see ya on the next episode.